Hello everyone! I didn't think I would ever do this, but I'm covering the Isle's devblogs, so let's just get straight into it. The first statement is from Felipe, the lead programmer. This month has been busy reworking the math behind food, which has changed a lot of the diet coding, including combinations. Now slots will no longer need to be activated anymore, and the bonuses are scaled for the amount of nutrients until a defined maximum. No more getting full before you receive any benefits from eating what's on your diet. This change has made all balancing changes easier for animals, but also calculating food and migration for the troll zones. This allows us to give server owners some control over the food balance who may want a more customized experience. Besides that, and many new slot combinations, new mechanics coming out such as gastroliths. These small rocks will manually drain food contents from the stomach. This does not affect nutrients or anything other than stomach value. I also worked on balance changes for mutations, and I have a few have been completely changed, other than the merely received buffs or debuffs and a lot of bug and fixes and improvements. From Ariel, one of the programmers. In the beginning of the month, I worked on the update we recently released, which was mostly just bug fixes, including a funny one where the Austroraptor will be able to latch onto the air and climb up infinitely into the sky. As much I would like to buff that dinosaur, unfortunately that one was taking it too far. Other than that, I was working on various Myosaur features that sit closer towards completion. It has attacks that depend on its stance and a bit of work to finish them all before they're unique, but they're unique enough to feel worth it, and movement system is functioning, well, some bug fixes which I'm really happy about. Then we got Wedge, the sound designer. I've been working on the Myosaur calls to get some space and perspective from the Tyrannosaurus. I've been maintaining the tiring and wobbling of the original vocal signature, but bringing them up to the standard expected with Evrmia. This has been achieved by using similar sources to the warbles, a mixture of female human screeches pitched down fairly low, which creates oscillation in the sound in combination with growls, snarls, and trills extracted from whale vocalizations. I'm introducing this sound as pitched down bird calls as well to keep and as well as sounds from animals like tapir to create a bedding to underpin and wobbling that gives sounds more body and as well as more music quality. The other breath and throat layers consist of gurgles, growls from camels that consist of the Hadrosaur family, as that has been used for the base Tyrannosaurus sound as well, along with the pelican and flamingo calls which have been pitched down heavily to give them a thick, growly, animalistic texture that complements the movement of the warbling. Looking forward to share more. Thanks. It's cool that they're talking about the sounds of the Myosaur. I loved Maya and Legacy. I've been working with a variety of dinosaurs. First up, the T-Rex subital animation. Getting the animations needed for testing some of its mechanics before we expanded to the rest of the Rex's growth stage. I've said before, but Rex is a very different beast compared to Legacy, and each growth stage is practically a different animal in both terms of how they play, but amount of work that's going into them. Myosaur requires 2 sets of locomotion and is complete. Players will be able to swap from bipedal to quadrupedal locomotion from each benefit how their animal moves. And the Austroraptor locomotion has been finalized. The amount of feathers on this guy has made it a bit to bear to work with, but the locomotion is always complete. Austroraptor has been a complemented rig, which has led me to my final project of the month, Kentrosaurus. Due to the increasing number of features on our animated rigs for the month, I decided to use Kentrosaurus as an experimental rig to hopefully be more ergonomic and robust when the animation team is working on it. The rig is nearly done and shows for a lot of promise. I've also taken some extra time to build a custom rig toolset which should be used in rigging future animals much easier and faster. With Kentrosaurus, what usually took over a week only took a day to complete. Work smarter, not harder. Kentro news is always good. Next is Kissing Kitten, the producer. We're up to a lot currently. We've got some change to diets, changes to migrations, addition of patrols, elders being integrated, changes to current playables, and production is still churning of new creatures. There's never a dull moment. Work done to migrations, diets, and patrols should give you more flexibility in how you grow the animal and choices during the life cycle. Moving animals around more ways could have the potential of interesting experience with that, no matter where you are on the island. We've also got some changes in the nesting and friend invites. This is aimed towards allowing easier ways to play with friends without sacrificing the integrity of the island's ecosystem or creating an abusive gameplay system. We want to further incentivize nesting on the island in ways beneficial for both parent and offspring, and in doing so, helps make your friends more streamlined and accessible. Patrols are going to slowly but surely start being expanded to include more ingrained experiences that are varied and make sense for the island and for your groups. No detail can be shared yet on how the work out the system mindfully before unveiling them, but the goal is to give you more experiences that will help the island feel more alive and dynamic, which is a key component for across the board, which is to make the island feel more like itself, feel like a living, breathing ecosystem full of manner of flora and fauna that you can interact with at any circumstance interact with you. Okay, next part. Sticking with the design goal helps ensure that no matter where you are any time of day, it's a realistic experience that can be had, which is all the more apparent when humans enter the game permanently, as it is every excursion beyond the safety with secured features and is truly a genuine walk into the unknown wilds where a creature of the Isle lives out their lives without existing or knowledge of humans on the islands. Elders are also getting legitimate work on. This is very exciting. We will round out the gameplay loop from our animals, which have been a long time coming, as the creatures will age on the island, but elders will shrink the meter's experience. For those who maintain quality existing throughout their lives, their reward will become in form of an elder, the peak representation of the species. This is a stronger, more capable adult stage than a healthy adult. For those creatures' inability or incapable of elder status, a slow decline to a frail elder stage is all that awaits, but the choice is yours. Look forward to do some more Rex testing this week, as features where they need to be safe to knock out. It's a feature mechanic animations for its life stage. We have got the mechanic working the way we want it first before we have to get the mechanic working the way we want it before complete the life stage animations for the features. That way we don't have to redo some of the features need adjustment for some reason. Thankfully, the click a button and export those life stage animations are done. Praise be. The Tyrannosaur is definitely shaping to be one of the most production-intense creatures we have ever due to how many changes over the course of its life. As we are vocal about these, I feel bears repeating now. We are committed to the Tyrannosaurus feeling appropriately like a Tyrannosaurus, starting off life extremely vulnerable, showing scaling into one of the most powerful creatures that ever existed. A healthy adult Tyrannosaur in the Isle is going to be a force to be reckoned with and grow into a true apex predator. And also, oh my, I think everyone has commented on this already. It looks so cool. The Myosaur has also been rounding around the corner towards completion, getting its sound created with integrity, and currently it should also be this week testing to ensure that it's on the right track, which ultimately shouldn't be too challenging considering its mechanics are fairly simple. I'm excited for its inclusion in the roster because no manner of dinosaur media is complete without a Hadrosaur in my opinion. Its playstyle should remain very similar to what it was in Legacy for those that remember it. It should be strong enough to defend itself from smaller predators, but should definitely consider fleeing from an opponent larger, more dangerous threats, which is primarily the winning strategy for survival for most creatures. Its ability to change stances would hopefully provide more flexibility for its survival. It would be more intriguing to see how they utilize it in their hands. At the end of the devblog, I'll include some of the skins that have been in the work for the past few months that we've posted on the community discords and some updated pieces of development content. Treat each other with the respect. See you next time. And this is director's commentary, so I think it's Dondi. Hi Islanders, when migration zones were originally tested, they were left active to always ensure the mechanic was working. This led players from one migration zone to the next, and there was no applicable downtime in between, resulting to a keep moving or starve gameplay experience unless you could supplement your diet with grazing along the way. To be clear, this was not the intended purpose of migration zones initially. We left out the active and constant cycling to ensure it worked properly and consistently. Migration zones have been toned down so you not automatically adjust your player's diet to everything in the location that are summoning, but a strong increase in nutrient yields from preferred food. There are also time to activate, ensuring the migration is less frequent occurrence but guarantees larger overlap of players. Patrol zones are limited to an individual or a group that they lead. Group members always have the patrol zone of the group leader, which are small pockets of exploration areas that across the island that can yield food and benefit a player going there. For carnivores, patrol zones have had a recent player activity where they are just part of your diet will activate activity in them that are also part of your diet will activate shortly after delay. It won't guarantee that if you go into a zone and you see a player running around, but it should give you a staging point for a hunt. One of the biggest tests on the immediate horizon is going to be disabling migrations from patrol zones entirely. Though these features are important to survival aspects of the game, don't forget that the sandbox is king. These features may not be relevant to others' experience, officials or otherwise, within the Isle. Nesting gameplay is getting some attention it's sorely needed. Various nesting areas will be drummed around across the island in some common design where each animal can reach and nest. but a few bespoke locations might be harder to reach or inaccessible to some animals. These locations will have unique patrol zones designed to help their parents raise the young and remain nearby without forcing parents to struggle too hard for resources. Final note, there are also some testing to be done to allow eligible but unbounded animals to use their courtship's calls long range, not unlike mating calls, to find other plays and want to create a nest. Hopefully it works as finalized edition. UI update? UI update. Minimalistic AE console interference is the direction I started with, and Caesar has been hard at work with me going over the various screens in the game as we move towards a unified look and feel. I'm happy to say it mimics the style of what we're going in the YouTube videos, and I feel that we're close to the end of any edits and updates to screen navigation. Once it's complete, we'll be filling out the empty intentional spaces with various lore information. Ultimately, this is a lot less cluttered, more direct on player input. I know what y'all are thinking. Where are the screenshots? Expect a new UI to randomly start finding its way into the Discord in Phase 3 in October. Just a quick random update on Sprawling Official Service. Randomization of the spawn points place has helped considerably with displacing some problematic hotspots on the map. But the obvious problem that has been made is infinitely harder to find and play with friends. Spawn codes are being worked on that allow players to join one and another as they start the life as their animal. No further information at this time will go in testing to fix abuse cases, but I'm confident this will resolve, able to find and play with friends when starting a new life. Mutations and their changes have been seen in older streams. Of course, there have been adjustments due to problematic behaviors, but mutations have received more bespoke adjustments and the choices that matter to a player more than obvious consequences or changes than in default gameplay. Something like a cannibalistic will require more consideration, as selecting mutation might alter the coloration of show everyone the type of player you are. Other mutations altering percentage values of your animal drastically reduce the effectiveness, making the way for your elder system that will allow mutations to stack in effectiveness up to the point if you complete a full life cycle as the animal. Lastly, we will host a limited time seasonal event for horde testing. This is a pitch done over an extremely small amount of time that won't interrupt general development. So it's not a visually perfect, but it's very fun in a closed testing, and I hope you enjoy when the time comes. Remember, there's no cure. Godspeed to see you on the Isle. Dondi. So, maybe a zombie horde test, if only I could play the game. So, we're just gonna look through the skins. I hate the Alberta model. They cooked with that skin though. That aloe skin, they cooked with it. The Austroraptor skin's okay. I like the colors, but I think the other pattern on the base model is better. Both Ava skins are really good, but I like this one a little more. Then we got this Chimera skin. Oh my god, it's peak. This one is pretty good. Not as good, but still pretty good. This is probably the weakest Chimera skin. It's not like horrendous or anything, it's just the least good. I think this Dinosaur skin is straight ass. It's not good, but it's nice seeing the model. I hate Homalocephalae with a passion. But they cooked with these skins. Oh my god, it's so pretty. These Kentrosaurus skins, this one's okay. I think it would have benefited if the stripes went down the body more. And this Kentrosaurus skin is just good. Not great or anything, just good. This Qued skin is, I think it's suffering from the colors and not the pattern. I think the pattern's good, just the colors are kind of eh. More of the same. I think there's another Rex. I like this Rex skin, but there's another one I like more. This Trike skin I think is good, but I like the eye spots more, and same with this one. And now we're going on Maya animations. I like it's a turn. Bleh. The digging aloe, I'm assuming this is for digging taco burrows. And then we have the aloe sniffing or making a nest, probably. That might be it, actually. Then we got some Auster animations, a bite. Then we got crouch turn. And then we got digging, I think. And then this is the eating animation. Then I think an alt attack kick. And then it's stand-up animation. The sniff, that is probably a shake. The run, the walk is good. I think that might be that probably is its mud animation. And this is probably its dive animation. So, all in all, this devblog was pretty good. And I think it was really good. The Hordes test that might or might not have zombies seems really cool, if only I was able to play it. Yeah, now I'm going to start ranting about fatal errors. I can't play the game right now because of fatal errors, and it's annoying. Isle devs, if you watch this, please contact me on Discord or anywhere. because I want to play your game. I love this game, but it's annoying not knowing what's wrong with it. But if you liked the video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Bye-bye, y'all. Have a nice day.